In this video, we will explore the top 25 SAP ABAP interview questions and answers. We aim to provide comprehensive insights into common queries that arise during interviews for SAP ABAP positions. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced professional, this video will offer valuable guidance. We'll address both basic and advanced concepts to help you prepare thoroughly for your upcoming SAP ABAP interviews. 1. What is ABAP and what role does it play in SAP? ABAP, which stands for Advanced Business Application Programming, is a high-level programming language developed by software giant SAP. It's used for developing applications on the SAP platform and plays a crucial role in customizing SAP software to meet specific business needs. ABAP is the backbone of all SAP applications, acting as the bridge between the presentation, application, and database layers. It's used to create reports, module pool programming, interfaces, forms, and data conversions. ABAP is also essential in enhancing standard SAP applications, creating custom reports and transactions, and enabling real-time data exchange between SAP systems and external apps. This language allows developers to create custom business solutions, automate processes, and improve efficiency within an SAP environment. Therefore, ABAP is central to the operation and functionality of SAP systems. 2. Describe the three-tier architecture of SAP. SAP's three-tier architecture is a software design pattern that is commonly used in web development. This structure is divided into three layers: the presentation, application, and database layers. The presentation layer is the user interface where users interact with the system. It displays the processed data and takes input from users. The application layer is where all the business-specific logic and processing happens. It communicates with the other two layers, sending user requests to the database layer and returning the processed data to the presentation layer. The database layer is responsible for storing, retrieving, and manipulating data. It interacts with the application layer and ensures the data integrity and security. This architecture promotes scalability and flexibility, making it an efficient solution for large-scale applications. The three-tier architecture of SAP is a scalable, flexible, and efficient design that separates software functionality into three interconnected layers. The first layer, known as the presentation layer, serves as the user interface, rendering processed data and receiving user input. The middle tier or application layer processes business-specific logic and coordinates communication between the presentation and database layers. Lastly, the database layer manages data storage, retrieval, and manipulation. This layer also maintains data integrity and security by interacting exclusively with the application layer. 3. What are pooled and cluster tables? How do they differ from transparent tables? Pooled and cluster tables are two specific types of tables used within the SAP ABAP environment. Pooled tables are typically used for storing control data. They are logical tables that must be assigned to a table pool when they are defined. In contrast, cluster tables are logical tables that are assigned to a table cluster when they are defined. These tables are mainly used for storing time-dependent data. The primary difference between these two types of tables and transparent tables lies in their structure and purpose. Transparent tables are physical tables on the database where each table is created on the database exactly as it was defined in the ABAP dictionary. Transparent tables are the most common type of table and can be accessed using open SQL statements. Pooled and cluster tables, on the other hand, cannot be accessed directly using open SQL. Instead, they are accessed through the table pool or table cluster, which can contain multiple logical tables. This makes them more efficient for storing certain types of data, but also more complex to use. In SAP ABAP, pooled and cluster tables are essential for storing specific types of data. Pooled tables are logical structures assigned to a table pool and are ideal for holding control data. On the other hand, cluster tables, also logical structures, are associated with a table cluster and are perfect for storing time-dependent data. The main distinction between these tables and transparent tables relies on their structure and purpose. Transparent tables are physical database tables, created exactly as defined in the ABAP dictionary, and can be accessed using open SQL statements. In contrast, direct access to pooled and cluster tables via open SQL isn't possible. They are accessed through the table pool or table cluster, which can contain several logical tables. Though more complex to use, they are more efficient for storing certain data types. 4. Explain the purpose of the ABAP data dictionary. The ABAP data dictionary is a central and integral part of ABAP. It plays a significant role in defining and managing metadata. The metadata is data about data, which includes definitions of tables, views, domains, data elements, and so on. The ABAP data dictionary enhances consistency, reliability, and performance across all applications. It ensures data integrity, data consistency, and data security. The ABAP data dictionary also helps to maintain data centrally. The ABAP data dictionary, commonly referred to as DDIC, serves as a crucial component within the ABAP system. It's used to store metadata, which is essentially data that provides information about other data. Through this, it offers a way to define and manage elements such as tables, views, types, and domains. One of the key advantages of the DDIC is the consistency it brings to the application development process. By centrally maintaining data and ensuring data integrity, it provides a reliable, secure, and efficient environment for developers. Furthermore, it plays a pivotal role in enhancing the performance of applications by optimizing their access to data. 5. What are the different types of data dictionary objects in ABAP? ABAP data dictionary objects are classified into various categories. These include tables, views, domains, data elements, type groups, lock objects, search helps, and table types. Tables are the fundamental component of the data dictionary and they are used to store data in the system. Views function as a logical view on more than one table. Domains define the technical characteristics of a table field such as the data type and length. Data elements describe the semantic characteristics of table fields. Type groups are groups of user-defined types. Lock objects are used to synchronize access to the same data by more than one user. Search helps are objects that attach a search help to a screen field. Table types define types used in internal tables. These objects allow for standardization, consistency, and integration in the ABAP environment. 6. What is the difference between a function module and a function group? A function module is a standalone program in ABAP that performs a particular task. It can be called from any other program, making it reusable. A function module is enclosed within a function group, making it possible to group function modules that perform similar tasks. On the other hand, a function group serves as a container for function modules and holds global data for all the function modules it contains. It facilitates the organization and structuring of function modules. Despite their differences, function modules and function groups work hand in hand to achieve modular programming in ABAP, where a large program is broken down into smaller, manageable, and reusable parts. In ABAP, a function module can be likened to a method in object-oriented programming. It is a set of programming codes that perform a specific task and can be called from anywhere in the program. This makes it reusable and contributes to modular programming. On the contrary, a function group is like a container or a class that holds multiple function modules. It is used to group together function modules that perform similar tasks. It also contains global data that are accessible by all the function modules within that group. In essence, the function group adds an extra layer of organization to function modules, enabling better structuring and maintainability of the system. Function modules and function groups are crucial in ABAP for achieving modular and structured programming. 7. Can you explain the difference between classical reports and interactive reports in ABAP? In ABAP, classical reports are simple reports that present users with the output in a list format. These reports are non-interactive, meaning users cannot interact with the report or change the data. They can only view the information that is presented to them. On the other hand, interactive reports allow users to interact with the data. They can drill down into the data to get more detailed information. Interactive reports are divided into different lists, which are known as interactive lists. These lists can have up to 20 levels. In interactive reports, users can hide and display additional information by clicking on the relevant lines of the report. They can also use various functions like sort, filter, sum, etc. on the displayed data. This gives users a more flexible and detailed view of the data. The main difference between the two reports lies in their interactivity. Interactive reports give a more detailed and flexible view of the data, while classical reports provide a simple, non-interactive view of the data. 8. What is a BDC, batch data communication, session, and how do you create one? A BDC, batch data communication, session is a mechanism in ABAP used for transferring large amounts of data from a non-SAP system to an SAP system, or between different SAP systems. This process is also known as batch input. Creating a BDC session involves a few steps. First, you need to record the transaction using transaction code SHDB. This generates a BDC program which can be modified according to requirements. After this, we transfer the data to the BDC table and process the table using the call transaction or session method. The call transaction method processes the records directly, while the session method creates a session that can be processed later. Both methods have their pros and cons, and the choice between them depends on the specific requirements of the task at hand. 9. How do you handle errors in BDC sessions? Errors in batch data communication, BDC, sessions are dealt with by utilizing transaction codes SM35 and SM14. These codes are used to manage and analyze BDC sessions. SM35 is responsible for handling the session manually, which can be useful when dealing with a large number of errors. It allows you to view the records in error and correct them individually. On the other hand, SM14 is used for error analysis. It provides detailed information about the nature of the error, helping you to understand what went wrong and how to fix it. In both cases, proper error handling is crucial for maintaining the integrity and accuracy of your data. In handling errors in BDC sessions, it's crucial to leverage tools like SM35 and SM14 transaction codes. SM35 allows manual handling of the session, especially when dealing with numerous errors. This tool enables you to view and correct each error record individually. SM14, however, is used for error analysis. It offers detailed insights into the error's nature, making it easier to understand and rectify the problem. Thus, these tools are essential in maintaining data integrity and accuracy. 10. What are internal tables, and how do you manipulate them in a BAP? Internal tables in a BAP are temporary tables that you create and populate during the execution of a program. They are not physically present in the database but are stored in the working memory of the application server. Manipulating such tables involves a variety of operations, such as insert, append, modify, delete, and read table. For instance, you can add a new row to an internal table using the insert statement, or append a row at the end of the table with the append statement. Modify is used to change the contents of a row, delete removes a row, and read table allows you to access specific rows. There are also control structures such as LOOPAT and SORT that help with iteration and sorting of these tables. LOOPAT helps to iterate over each row in the table, while SORT helps to arrange the contents of an internal table in a specific order. Different types of internal tables include standard, sorted, and hashed tables, each with their own advantages and specific use cases. These tables form an integral part of ABAP programming and data handling. 11. What is object-oriented ABAP, OOABAP, and how does it differ from traditional ABAP? Object-oriented ABAP, OOABAP, is an extension of the ABAP language that supports object-oriented programming. This paradigm shift from procedural programming, traditional ABAP, to object-oriented programming provides benefits like reusability, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. In traditional ABAP, you work with subroutines, function modules, and modules which are called in a linear sequence. On the other hand, OOABAP focuses on objects. Each object is an instance of a class, which can have properties and methods. The main difference between OOABAP and traditional ABAP lies in their basic concept. Traditional ABAP is based on the procedural model where the program is divided into small procedures or routines, known as subroutines. But OOABAP follows the concept of classes and objects. It allows the encapsulation of data and methods that operate on the data within the same unit. This is not possible in traditional ABAP. Additionally, OOABAP supports inheritance, where one class can inherit properties and methods from another class. This means that you can create a new class based on an existing one, reducing code duplication and enhancing maintainability. Traditional ABAP doesn't support inheritance. In terms of polymorphism, OOABAP allows methods to behave differently based on the object that's invoking them. This dynamic nature is not available in traditional ABAP. So, OOABAP, with its object-oriented features, provides more flexibility and capability for complex programming tasks than traditional ABAP. 12. Explain the concept of lock objects in ABAP and their importance. Lock objects are essential tools in ABAP programming that ensure data consistency. When several users are working on the same data, these objects prevent simultaneous access to the same database records, eliminating the risk of data loss or inconsistency. In a multi-user environment, it's crucial to have a mechanism that maintains database integrity and prevents conflicts or data corruption. Lock objects are created in the ABAP dictionary and associated with specific database tables. When a user initiates a database change operation, the system automatically triggers a lock on the relevant data. This lock will remain in place until the user completes the change operation, at which point it is automatically released. This mechanism ensures that no two users can modify the same data at the same time, thereby maintaining the integrity and consistency of database records. It's a critical part of managing concurrent user access in SAP systems. In short, lock objects are vital for safeguarding data in ABAP and ensuring smooth, conflict-free operations in an SAP environment. 13. What are the performance optimization techniques you can apply in ABAP programming? Performance optimization in ABAP programming can be achieved by using several techniques. Utilizing internal tables effectively can enhance performance as it reduces the stress on the database. Buffering can also be used to minimize database access. Additionally, using indexes when accessing data can greatly speed up the process. Correct use of select statements can also optimize performance, for example, using select asterisk only when necessary and utilizing select into corresponding fields when only certain fields are needed. Lastly, consider using parallel processing or asynchronous processing for time-consuming tasks. 14. How do you implement user exit or BADI, business add-in, in your program? User exits and BADI, business add-in, are enhancement techniques used in ABAP to add custom functionality to standard SAP programs without modifying them. To implement a user exit, you need to incorporate a project in CMOD transaction and associate it with the SAP enhancement. This enhancement includes function module exits where you can write your custom code. On the other hand, to implement a BADI, you must first find the appropriate BADI using the BADI transaction. Once the BADI is identified, you can create an implementation for it. This involves defining a class that implements the interface methods of the BADI. The implementation of a BADI can be done using SE19 transaction. Remember, the choice between a user exit and BADI depends on the version of SAP, as BADI is a more recent technology with more flexibility and is object-oriented. 15. What is the significance of the end of selection event in report programming? The end of selection event in report programming is crucial as it marks the end of data retrieval in an ABAP program. After the execution of this event, no more data can be retrieved from the database, and the program moves into the output processing phase. This event is particularly useful for executing calculations or operations that require the entire dataset. For instance, if you need to calculate averages or totals based on all the data retrieved, these calculations should ideally be performed in the end of selection event. It is a standard event in the sequence of events that occur in an ABAP report program and plays a pivotal role in ensuring the correct flow and processing of data. 16. How do you manage data uploads using LSMW, Legacy System Migration Workbench? The Legacy System Migration Workbench, LSMW, is an effective tool for managing data uploads in SAP. Its key function is to transfer data from non-SAP systems to an SAP environment. The process involves several steps. First, you need to create a project, subproject, and an object. These will be your source for the data transfer. Next, you maintain an object attribute, specify the source structure, and then define a source field. After this, you maintain a relationship between the source structure and the target structure. This is followed by maintaining field mapping and conversion rules. You then specify files, assign files, read data, display read data, convert data, and display converted data. Lastly, you create a batch input session and run the batch input session. This process ensures a smooth and efficient data upload using LSMW. 17. Can you explain what a logical database is and its advantages, disadvantages? A logical database is a read-only hierarchical view of database tables in ABAP. It offers a high level of data retrieval functionality, thus simplifying the programming task. As a programmer, you don't need to worry about the complex database operations as the logical database takes care of all these operations. One of the significant advantages of using a logical database is its built-in authorization checks, which enhances the security of the system. It also provides automatic currency and quantity conversion, which can be very beneficial in certain scenarios. On the flip side, one of the main disadvantages of a logical database is that it may not be very efficient for complex queries. It is also less flexible compared to transparent tables, as you can't modify the structure of a logical database as per your requirements. The use of logical databases can also lead to redundancies if the same data is read multiple times. It is therefore always important to carefully consider the specific needs of your project before deciding to use a logical database. 18. What methods can be used to transfer data between different SAP sessions? The transfer of data between various SAP sessions can be achieved through various methods. One such method is the use of batch data communication, BDC. This technique involves the utilization of queues which can be programmed to run at specified times. Another method is the use of remote function calls, RFC, which allows for real-time communication between systems. This method is particularly useful when dealing with large amounts of data that need to be transferred quickly and efficiently. Lastly, you can use application link enabling, ALE, which is a technology developed by SAP for the distribution of business processes across multiple IT systems that may be located in different geographical locations. This method is especially useful for businesses with multiple branches or departments. All these methods have their own unique advantages and disadvantages, and the choice of method depends on the specific requirements of the business. 19. How do you schedule background jobs in SAP, and what are the steps involved? Background jobs in SAP are used for tasks that aren't time critical and can be processed in the background. The steps for scheduling these jobs are as follows. First, navigate to the SM36 transaction, which is SAP's job definition module. Assign a name to the job and define its priority. Specify the job's class and its start condition. Add the steps the job should perform. This can include running ABAP programs or external commands. Save the job. It's now scheduled and will run according to the start condition. To schedule a background job in SAP, you start by visiting the SAP job definition module, known as SM36. Here, you assign a name and define the job's priority level. You then define the job class and its start condition. The next step involves adding the tasks that the job should carry out. These tasks can range from running an ABAP program to executing an external command. Once all these steps are successfully completed, you save your job. It becomes scheduled and will execute at the defined start condition. 20. What is the difference between synchronous and asynchronous RFC calls in SAP? The key difference between synchronous, SRFC, and asynchronous, ARFC, RFC calls in SAP lies in their processing method. In synchronous RFC, the system that sends the request must wait for the receiver's response before it can continue processing. This implies a direct communication between the sender and receiver systems, where the sender system stays locked until the response is received. On the other hand, asynchronous RFC allows the sender system to send a request and continue processing without waiting for the receiver's response. This creates a non-blocking mode of communication where the sender system can perform other tasks without waiting for the receiver's response. It is useful in scenarios where the immediate response from the receiver is not necessary. 21. How do you document your ABAP programs effectively? Answering this question, effective documentation of ABAP programs plays a vital role in ensuring code readability and maintainability. This documentation process starts with writing clear, concise comments. Each line of code should be accompanied by a comment explaining its purpose. Using this strategy, other developers can understand your code without needing to decipher complex logic. Secondly, using meaningful names for variables, methods, and functions also contributes to effective documentation. The name should reflect the purpose of the object. Thirdly, it's important to document the purpose, parameters, and return values of each function or method. For instance, you can include a header comment at the beginning of the function. Lastly, maintaining a separate document detailing the program's design, architecture, and functionality is beneficial. This document should be regularly updated as the program evolves. By adhering to these guidelines, you can ensure that your ABAP programs are well documented and easily understood by others. 22. What are ALV, ABAP List Viewer, reports, and how do they enhance reporting capabilities? ALV, ABAP List Viewer, reports provide a standardized and efficient way of displaying lists in the SAP system. They present data in a tabular form, offering a host of functionalities such as sorting, filtering, summing up, etc. The ability to manipulate data, like rearranging columns or highlighting particular rows, gives users greater control over how they view the information. In addition, ALV reports can be integrated with other SAP tools, enhancing their capabilities. For instance, you can export the data to an Excel file for further analysis or use the drill-down feature to get more detailed information. Thus, ALV reports significantly improve the reporting experience by providing these advanced features. 23. Explain what smart forms are and how they differ from SAP Script. Smart forms were introduced in SAP Basis Release 4.6c as an enhancement to SAP Script. SAP Script and smart forms are both tools for creating formatted documents, however, they are vastly different. Smart forms is a tool that is designed to simplify the process of form development. This tool is preferred over SAP Script for its user-friendly interface and abundance of features. It allows for the creation of forms without the need for programming, using a graphical interface that provides a visual representation of the form. This makes it easier to design, maintain, and adapt the form to changing business requirements. On the other hand, SAP Script is a word processing tool that is used to create formatted documents. It requires a deep understanding of ABAP programming as it lacks a visual interface and mainly relies on coding. It's a robust tool, but it lacks the flexibility and ease of use that SmartForms offers. That being said, both tools have their merits and their use will depend on the specific needs of the project. 24. Describe a situation where you had to troubleshoot an ABAP program that was not performing as expected. What steps did you take to resolve it? In one of my past projects, an ABAP program was not delivering the expected output. I started with identifying the problematic area of the program by running it in debugging mode. I used the ABAP debugger to step through the program code line by line. This helped me to understand the flow of the program and pinpoint where it is deviating from the expected behavior. After locating the issue, I moved to the next step of researching and understanding why that part of the code is not working as expected. I referred to SAP documentation and various online resources for a deeper understanding of the problematic code segment. Once I understood the issue, I revised the code to correct the problem. After making the necessary changes, I tested the program again to ensure it is now working as expected. I also ensured that the changes did not affect any other part of the program by conducting regression testing. This systematic approach helped me to efficiently troubleshoot and fix the issue in the ABAP program. 25. How would you approach writing a new report that requires data from multiple tables with complex joins? When creating a report that requires data from numerous tables with complex joins, my first step would be to fully understand the business requirements and the data model. This includes identifying the tables involved and the relationships between them. Next, I'd write SQL statements using inner join, left join, or right join, depending on the requirements. Inner join would be used if records are required from both tables. Left or right join would be used if records are needed from one table, irrespective of matching records in the other. To ensure data accuracy, I'd perform necessary data validations and handle exceptions using appropriate error messages. I'd also ensure that the SQL queries are optimized for performance. This could be achieved by limiting the data fetched from the database using where clause or by indexing the database tables. Finally, I'd present the data in a user-friendly format, ensuring that the report meets the business needs and provides the desired insights. Throughout the process, I'd follow best coding practices and maintain clear documentation for future reference. In wrapping up, we hope that this comprehensive guide on the top 25 SAP ABAP interview questions and answers has helped you prepare for your upcoming interview. The questions provided range from basic to advanced level, ensuring a thorough understanding of the subject. By studying these, you are one step closer to acing your interview and landing that dream job. Remember, confidence is key, so review these questions, understand them, and you're good to go. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more such informative content. Good luck.